Welcome to A Pearl in Every Cowslip's Ear. This series was recorded here in our classroom with actual students. You just get to listen in. We are using Christian Light Education's curriculum. This is Language Arts 4, Book 1. Okay, Lesson 1, 4th grade. I'm going to talk about this lesson. There's two main words that we want to have in this lesson. Two main words that are very important, and those two words are communicate and vocabulary. We use language to communicate, and we speak the English language, so we say things in English. You guys say them in Romanian too. Some people know many languages. I know an old guy with a great big white beard, and he knows about 7 languages. He can read German, he can read many other languages. It's possible to learn many languages. The English language that we have today wasn't always like this, spelled with the same letters. They used to have very many interesting letters. For instance, they used to make many of the S's look like big F's in the words. So instead of an S, you would have what looks like a big F. And they used to write things much more interestingly. But finally, and especially thanks to Daniel Webster, he decided to make a dictionary. And he started formalizing a certain way of writing words in English. So today we've decided that if you want to write words in English, you need to use these letters, you need to write it that way. Why? Because if you give me something and it's in your own language, I can't understand it. It does me no good. I need to know the same language so that we can communicate. What communicate means is to take a thought from my head and put that thought into your head. Maybe you have a thought and you want to put that thought into my head. I'm thinking of a word. What word am I thinking of? You have no idea. But if I say dog, the thought is communicated. In your head now there's a dog too in your head. So we've communicated. But in order to communicate effectively, in order to actually get the thoughts from my head to your head, we need to know the same words. We need to have the same words. And that's where vocabulary comes in. Vocabulary are the words that we use. And so you need to also know the same words that I know. If I say hydroponics, what does that mean? Hydroponics. I bet Shana knows. A little bit. Hydroponics is how you can grow plants without having actual dirt. You just grow a plant and you just put your lettuce in water and you grow lettuce without actually having dirt there. So hydroponics, that's a vocabulary, a word that you don't really know what it means. For me, many Romanian words you could use, I wouldn't know what they mean. So we need to also know vocabulary so we can communicate, so we can talk back and forth. So the first part of your lesson has to do with the language, communicating, and vocabulary. And that's what we're here to learn in English. We're going to learn to communicate in several ways. We'll learn to communicate by how to write. We'll learn how to speak. We will also practice our penmanship. And we will also learn new words, which will make new vocabulary for us. Now, the next part of the lesson is following directions. Suppose you don't know how to follow directions, you're going to be in trouble. This whole year you're going to be in trouble if you can't follow directions. And I imagine there will be many times, sometimes perhaps, when you're going to get your answers wrong because you didn't read the directions. Someone already here in math class had a problem wrong. It said, what are the total degrees in a shape with 4 sides? And the answer is 360 degrees, but they just put 4. They saw a shape with 4 sides. Oh, it has 4 sides, I guess. That's what they thought. They weren't reading the directions. We need to follow directions very carefully. And part of following directions is, first of all, listening, and then remembering and carrying out. Listen to this story. Laura sat curled in her favorite chair reading. Laura, said Mother, I'm going to the garden to get some corn for supper. Will you put some water on to boil the corn? Laura got up. She got a small pan and put some water in it. When it boiled, she added tea bags. Soon she had a pitcher full of iced tea for supper. Then Mother came in with a pan full of corn on the cob. Laura, she exclaimed, where is the water to boil the corn? Corn, cried Laura. I thought you wanted me to boil water to make tea. Laura was just reading her book, and her mom said, put water on to boil for corn. All Laura heard was, put water on to boil. And then she thought, oh, it's probably tea. And so she put the tea bags in, right? She wasn't following directions. She wasn't actually listening to what was said. Okay, looking a little further in your lesson at some more things that you will have to do this year. Turn to page 4. and you'll see there that it says Penmanship. They're at the bottom of page 4. And you will need a notebook. I'll have the notebooks here for you tomorrow. I don't have extra notebooks already today. But you can do your penmanship in that. Now also it says there, for the directions for G says go to page 61. So if you would turn back to page 61 in your light unit, you'll see that it has a list of shapes there, a list of curves. And those are the curves that you have to practice. So the directions there say, for penmanship, go to page 61, write the tall and short slant stroke and tall and short undercurve stroke 5 times. So copy each of those strokes there for 1 and 2 and write them each 5 times in your notebook. And then it says write each letter neatly 5 times. So A, E, I, O, U, and B, C, D, F, G, H, K, L. Write each of those 5 times. And write the name of each animal once. So only write the jaguar once, kangaroo once, lynx, mink. Write those names each once. So in a notebook. I'm going to say today you get to skip this. You get a little easier time. Maybe have a little shorter time. But do it tomorrow. I'll get the notebooks here for you to make sure that we do this. And finally, let's look at your spelling words. So turn to page 5 in your lesson, and what I'd like to do is I'm going to read these spelling words aloud, and then you repeat them after me. And we'll start at the beginning. I'll say the word, and then you say the word, so we can make sure we understand the words when we say them. So first of all, basket.
Basket.
Good. Chief.
Chief.
Company.
Company.
Feast.
Feast.
Feathers.
Feathers.
Friends.
Friends.
Health.
Health.
Hungry.
Hungry.
Indian.
Indian.
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim.
Plenty.
Plenty.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Rapid.
Rapid.
Though.
Though.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Good job. That's it for today's lesson.